Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Culture Report. I'm Jamal Simon.
I'm DeMarco Randall.
And I'm Antonia Velez, and today we're joined by Mason Brandstrader. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Last week, we took a little trip to the University of Denver to chat with Mason, who, between being a student, an entrepreneur, and probably the coolest person you'll ever meet, is also an inspiration to hundreds of thousands of people.
I think it's so important for people to see that life with a disability can be super exciting.
Day in the life of a wheelchair user camping at
and that you can have a good time with it and explore and try new things, and you don't have to let it hold you back from living life. And I realized that I could help a lot of people, and not only help them, but that sharing my story through social media was my mission and my purpose. When I started making videos, people started coming to me and they were like, why do you have, how do I be like you? Like, how do I smile through this? Like, there was this moment where I got a message from somebody and he was like, hey man, like, I'm from Argentina and I just used your method of getting upstairs with your spasms. And he said, sending you a big hug. And he sent a video of him going upstairs, standing on his spasms. That was a really special moment for me because I was the one that figured out how to do that on my own through testing the limits. And then I shared it, and then somebody across the world benefited from it and used it to be functional. It all started more than 3 years ago, and I was in the car with my dad, and I remember talking to him just kind of in the darkness saying, Dad, I really want to help people, but why would anybody take advice from me and listen to me? And that was 2 days prior to when I had my accident. I was just going for a normal day of downhill skiing, hit my favorite jump, and spun backwards midair. And I woke up in the ICU, and the doctors came in and said, Mason, you're paralyzed. All right, here we go. People don't realize everything that I have to do just to show up as a normal person. And that's one of my biggest messages. It takes me a lot longer to get ready in the morning. Being able to roll under the sink is super important. Getting dressed, using the bathroom, all of the things that people take for granted just take me so much longer, and I had to figure out how to do them. The toilet. The toilet is actually something that's overlooked a lot in accessibility, especially in America. Having like the grab bars next to it as well as space on one side for you to lean is super important. It's a fine line when you're disabled and a content creator trying to show people how to do things between advocating for accessibility and showing people how to do things on their own and when things don't work out. Oh no, you're totally good, man. I just think it's so important for inclusion and to have the same experience as everyone else, because we deserve that too. And our lives are harder in a lot of other ways, so we shouldn't have to deal with things on top of it as well. Alrighty. At the start of this injury, the hardest part was the unknown. And dealing with such a large unknown and being successful and triumphant, and I still deal with my paralysis and the effects of it, but conquering the unknown is a really powerful thing. And it allows you to then go and say yes to more things and adventure in your life.
Period.
Amazing. Well, first of all, thank you so much for chatting with us then and joining us today. And sorry I jumped the gun, but you're a busy guy. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing, what's going on in your life right now, what you like to do.
I am. It's a constant balancing act between everything that I want to do, everything I feel like I should do and need to do, and ultimately I'm young and I'm kind of working out what I want my entire life to look like and exploring new things and trying new things, finding out what I like. Yeah.
Cool. And you said it's been just over 3 years since your accident, right? And when we were talking, like when we were following you around all day,
Yeah.
I told you, I was like, bro, you don't have to do this. And when we talked about it, I was like, just existing, following your goals is enough. It's like, but you chose to have this positive outlook and use your platform to help other people. So, and I know you said that Craig Hospital was a big part of why you have such a positive outlook on things.
1,000%. Craig Hospital is the best rehab in the world, and I had the privilege to go there and learn all of the amazing knowledge that they have. And I felt that it was my duty to share that knowledge with the world after receiving that information and realizing that not everybody got the education that I did. And it just goes along with my original goal of wanting to help people. And so it was an easy next step to take all of the knowledge that I learned and pass it on to people that weren't as fortunate as me.
Yeah. And as you kind of interact with these people and you meet some folks, you've never would have met them other than this social media presence that you have. What does that mean to you to like have that opportunity to be out there with those people and to have them reach out to you and be like, hey, like, I am doing this because of you?
Yeah, I am constantly just even watching that little segment. I'm like, is this really me? Like, do I really have the opportunity to experience all these amazing things and all these people that look up to me? Sometimes I just want to tell them, hey, I'm just a normal kid going through a hard time just like yourself, and a young man trying to find how I want to live my life. And I think that is also super inspiring for people because they see that part of me. Yeah. And that I am this young guy that dealt with something really traumatic in an honorable way. But when I have people come up to me and tell me that I have helped them, it means the absolute world to me. And happy tears are the best kind of tears, and I'm fortunate to have them a lot.
Can you also talk to us a little bit about like some of the things that you're working towards? I know you told us a little bit about like the marathons you're working at.
Yes, totally. So right now I'm training for marathon. I just did the Boulder 10K on Monday.
That's awesome. How was that, by the way?
It was so fun. I got a solid time for my first race. I got 33 minutes and 50 seconds, which I'm very proud of.
That's baller, dude.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it was rad. It was rad. And the whole Memorial Day service, it was just an incredible experience. I have two coaches, Jacob Helvile, who is Colorado wheelchair user, and he was a longtime racer. So he's been mentoring me. And then my personal trainer back home has been coaching some nutrition. So just really fortunate to have great people in my life that help guide me and give me these different opportunities. And I think going forward into the summer after this school year, I'm just really excited to explore and go on adventures and trips and make all the videos that I've wanted to make but haven't had enough time to during the school year. And I have a ton of huge plans and just can't wait to share everything with people. But yeah, the marathon training has been brutal. I'm not going to lie.
I'm sure.
Pushing a racing chair. I wish I could say it was funner, but it's just hard,
I'm sure.
But it's important to do hard things. So I've really enjoyed that aspect of it. And blocking out the training has been great for my discipline as well.
That's so awesome. Well, I can't wait to see all the content you make. We all follow you on Instagram. Y'all should too.
Definitely.
Lana Del Rey follows him on Instagram.
The real reason, that's why we're here.
That's the real tea. No, but for real, thank you so much for joining us and for chatting with us. And you're just so awesome. So yeah, we're so glad that you came on the show and sharing your life with us and with everyone else.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it. This has all been an incredible experience, and I'm just honored to be here. So thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
So if you've been online within the past 2 weeks, you may have come across these 6 words: bleach, blonde, bad built, butch body. Stop it. Those are the words uttered by Representative Jasmine Crockett. They're now trademarked and likely being worked into a Crockett clapback collection as we speak. So the phrase stems from a House Oversight Committee meeting back on May 17th. It was supposed to center around a resolution regarding Attorney General Merrick Garland, but escalated into chaos and personal attacks, starting with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene insulting Crockett's eyelashes.
Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about.
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No, ain't nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
your
please
history.
Wild behavior. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez immediately moved to strike Greene's words from the record and to have her apologize to Crockett.
That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the
suspend.
physical
Meeting will
appearance of another
suspend.
person?
Are your
Move
feelings hurt?
her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play. with
Baby
me.
girl? I don't think
we are
so.
going to move and we're going to take your words down.
I
Thank you very
second that motion.
All right, so according to Crockett, Greene was engaging in personalities, and the typical penalty would be for her words to be stricken and for Greene to be removed from the committee for the rest of the evening. But the chairman didn't do that. That's when Crockett requested clarification on the rules.
It's just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
A what now? So since all this went down, Crockett has spoken out about how this is just a taste of the macroaggressions that she experiences day to day occupying predominantly white spaces. So she has since defended her words, saying that she couldn't just stand there and tolerate disrespect from her peer. Greene has refused to apologize and is standing by her words as well.
All right, now, former GOP presidential candidate Nikki Haley is making headlines after her Memorial Day visit to Israel. The former United Nations ambassador wrote, quote, "finish them" on an Israeli artillery shell. Now, that's according to photos from Danny Danon, a former Israeli ambassador to the UN, who accompanied her on the trip. Wednesday, she also took time to meet with Israel's defense minister. This sentiment from Haley isn't new, but echoes her past message in which she called on Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to, quote, "finish them." The visit came just a day after an Israeli airstrike that killed 45 people at a camp for displaced Palestinians in Rafah, a strike that Netanyahu described as a, quote, "tragic error."
But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
Right, so Sean Diddy Combs is apologizing after disturbing video from 2016 was released showing him abusing his then girlfriend Cassie Ventura. So out of respect for the victim and the disturbing nature of the video, we've decided not to show it in full. So in the surveillance video, you can see Combs grabbing Ventura and throwing her to the ground. Combs then kicks her twice and then attempts to drag her on the floor back to the hotel room. So Ventura sued Combs in November, claiming years of abuse. Ventura's complaint was settled within 24 hours. At the time, Combs' attorney says that the decision to settle was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. So Combs has been hit with 7 lawsuits, and it's more are coming out every day within the past couple of months, and 6 of those contain allegations of sexual assault. So I want to say, he's saying in the video, "Oh, I thought it was disgusting then. I thought it was disgusting now." He says he went to therapy and he's changing. Into that, I say, back in November, he was just denying allegations.
Literally.
So I'm confused. That video was from 8 years ago. So if he thought it was disgusting back then, why are we denying allegations? If you're going to apologize, apologize.
I think that's what's so important about this video being released.
Yeah.
It allows for there to be some level of accountability.
And
especially with these big celebrities.
Yeah.
Like
that have so much power. He's probably one of the biggest music moguls there is in the industry. So people are like, well, when did we need this video? Did we need the video to be released? For me, sure. Sure, it's kind of at the expense of the victim, but it shows okay, one, it corroborates the story.
Right.
And it also somewhat validates other victims that are coming forward that people are claiming are liars or just after money or he would never do this.
Yeah. I mean, it's so unfortunate that we need this sort of quote unquote concrete proof in order for people to even believe victims. I feel like victims should be believed always. But I think I agree with you, DeMarco, especially in cases where these are people, perpetrators who are so powerful and famous and have so much money and they can do with their platform and their fame whatever they can to kind of cover up their wrongdoings. I think that's why it's important. At the same time, it can be a slippery slope. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the reason why we just chose not to share it is because it's already been shared. I mean, it's out there, and kind of resharing it multiple times just kind of seems like a little bit like lacking taste.
Yeah.
Like it also like puts re-traumatizing victims at risk.
It's a little disingenuous too, I think, to just show it and just.
It's like if you want to see it, one, I feel like everyone's seen it, and also it's so easily accessible. There's no reason to show it.
Yeah, I personally have not watched it in full. I think it's hard for a lot of people too, and that's also something that we should be like sensitive about. And in terms of victims, like again, this is something that can be a trigger. This is something that can re-traumatize a lot of victims. So I think in that respect, it's important to be aware of that. But I do think that especially in this case, when we're talking about someone like Diddy. This is very important because otherwise they're just going to lie and get away with it.
And my hope is that it makes those people that are around him hold him accountable. And in those other instances too, like in everyday life, like if you see someone and they're acting like not accordingly or like it's abusive behavior, you should call them out.
Yeah, keep people accountable. I feel like I say this every episode. Yeah. Keep your friends accountable, not just the people you don't like. Keep your friends accountable.
Yes, and he has several lawsuits against him, so we'll definitely continue to follow this, update you guys, let you know what's going on. So this is the week of apologies, I guess. So Pope Francis is apologizing after he was quoted using a vulgar term about gay people to reaffirm the Catholic Church's ban on gay priests. Italian media reported that Francis jokingly used the term while speaking in Italian. A Vatican spokesman said that Francis was aware of the reports and reminded the public that the Pope has made outreach to the LGBTQIA+ Catholics a hallmark of his office and has long insisted that there was room for everyone at the Catholic Church.
As to be expected, the more I've talked about what I value most, which is my Catholic faith, the more polarizing I have become. It's a decision I've consciously made and one I do not regret at all.
Kansas City Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker is responding to a now viral speech at the graduation ceremony for Benedictine College. The speech sparked outrage from the public after he suggested that women find fulfillment by getting married and having kids, while criticizing working women as well as abortion rights. He also took aim at the LGBTQ+ community and called Pride Month a deadly sin. The NFL responded that Butker's views were different from those of the organization.
Okay, initial reactions. I saw it. We saw it. Initial reaction, I was like, how dare, like, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is that...
At a college graduation.
Yes,
it's just shocking.
It's at a graduation where there's women that are graduating with their degrees to go on and have a fulfilled career. For them to kind of like dismiss that and be like, well, what you should really be excited about is motherhood. What you should really be excited about is being a housekeeper.
And speaking of motherhood, isn't his mom like a scientist, like a doctor?
She's very educated.
So after the initial reaction, I sat and I thought, and I looked at the reaction to other people. Apparently a lot of people in the audience were clapping, smiling, blah, blah, blah. But this was also a Catholic school. We have to remember that. So after I thought about it for a little bit, it's kind of like me going into a church and being mad at them for being homophobic, which sure I can be. But like, it was, we have to bring Catholicism into that. So if those are the values that they want, I don't agree with it, but at the same time, I'm not about to enter their space and be like, don't do this.
I mean, I think I understand that, and I do think that context is important to understand. I mean, it's not that shocking when you put it in the context of, oh, this was at a private Catholic institution. With that being said, my family's Catholic. They don't go around saying that. Like, that's
what was kind of my point too. Like, I feel like that is what is accepted in Harrison's circle and maybe with his close family, with his close people.
Yeah.
But not for like the majority of folks that are actually graduating from that school. And let's also keep in mind that he's a kicker in the NFL. He's getting paid millions of dollars to play football.
Like, the privilege is crazy.
It is. It is. But and also, as we're saying this, it's not to say that being a homemaker, being a mother, being a wife, all of these things are lesser than or something that people can't look toward, because absolutely.
Yeah, but don't say that that's a woman's real duty.
And their only fulfillment.
Yeah.
I feel like that's where it's a little tone deaf, and where it's like, I don't know if he has daughters himself, but I'm wondering if he would want to have his daughters be told that.
Well, and I think, and yes, totally hear that, but also, that's not even the point. Yeah. I don't care what you would say to your daughters. It's just not something that you would say at a commencement speech. It makes no sense. It's like, if you want to talk about this at like your family dinner, that's fine. But at a graduation after, like DeMarco said, women who were there just finished however many years of getting educated, and they're excited to go on to the next chapter of their lives.
Agreed. Agreed. I mean, if they're into it, they're into it. I just don't need him coming up to the gay bars telling the dancers to put your shirt on. As long as he's not at the gay bars bothering me, telling me to stop, I'm fine.
Stick to ball and stick to football. Anyway, graduations are usually something to celebrate, but in Colorado, one graduation in particular left the crowd cheering for a little bit longer. At Broomfield High School's graduation ceremony, student and commencement speaker Jillian Ball moved the crowd to tears with her words and received a standing ovation. Ball made school history as the first person with Down syndrome to deliver a commencement speech. And her speech, which focused on gratitude, listed what she calls thank you fors.
First, to all my classmates out here, I am thankful for you accepting me for who I am. Embrace and include others. Love yourself. Accept challenges. Push yourself to do your best. Play well together.
Now, Ball's parents and friends lined up to congratulate her after her speech, and as a new grad, she'll enter a transition program where she'll explore multiple jobs and learn life skills to move on to the next exciting chapter of her life. And here's some more good news of the week. 2 Texas teens are being recognized for their prototype filtration system that removes microplastics from water using ultrasonic waves. 17-year-olds Justin Huang and Victoria Yu received the Gordon E. Moore Award for Positive Outcomes for Future Generations. $50,000 total. The students are currently working to perfect their systems, which, according to Society for Science, removed between 84 and 94% of suspended microplastic particles during lab tests.
And students at the University of Maryland are helping make sports more accessible for people with disabilities. A group of students in an engineering program developed an adaptive lacrosse stick to help 9-year-old Stella with her shot. Stella has cerebral palsy. The students gifted Stella the stick for her birthday.
Right, and the saying, it's not how you start, but it's how you finish, certainly applies to one high school student from Pennsylvania who's graduating this spring. Jaden Alston once struggled academically, but turned things around. He's now been accepted to 20 colleges, offering him a combined $1.4 million in merit-based scholarships over the course of 4 years.
Let's go.
So Jaden's planning to study business at Westchester University in Pennsylvania.
We love that.
Very iconic because
Awesome.
nobody feels like paying for college.
Yeah, so many graduation stories.
I know.
It's graduation season.
I'm so happy everyone's graduating.
I know.
This is awesome. And also,
yes,
making sports more accessible.
Yeah, period. We
That
love
is
that.
very, very
We love
important.
that.
I feel like we're so far behind, but I feel like in the past couple of months we've seen more and more stories like this. of people-
Advancements.
Advancements.
Yeah,
And that's all we
progress
can
is
ask
awesome.
for.
Yeah.
Progress is progress.
Progress
So,
is good news.
period. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining this week's Culture Report. We'll be back to continue the conversation right here on 9 News Plus and 9news.com.